13 years after Nicolas Sarkozy left office, and he's set to become the first former French president to be sent to prison. He was sentenced to 5 years for his part in a scheme for late Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi to fund his 2007 presidential run. As significant as the verdict was, so too was his sentence. Sarkozy was cleared of 3 of the most serious charges: illegal party funding, embezzlement, and corruption, but found guilty of the least significant charge, criminal association. Joining us on the set is France 24's own Shirli Sitbon. Hello to you, Shirli.
Hello.
You were in the courtroom yesterday. Yes. Talk to us a little bit about what you saw and then the international reaction as well.
Yes, it was very interesting, and sometimes it was quiet, then there was misunderstanding, confusion, and tension. Why? Well, first of all, it started a bit differently. Throughout the trial, the various accused with Sarkozy were sitting next to their lawyers. But this time, when we got into court, we saw that there were seats placed in front of the judges. And when the presiding judge arrived, she said, "All of the accused, please sit on those seats and not next to your lawyers." Nicolas Sarkozy and his friend Brice Hortefeux, co-accused former minister, were still sitting next to their attorneys. So she said, "Mr. Sarkozy, Mr. Hortefeux, please sit in front of us." So a bit of tension. Then the judge says that he was acquitted in several of the charges. So this was a surprise. And then 2 hours later, the tension rose further because 2 of his co-accused were told they would be arrested immediately, and then we saw police officers.
Yes, this is during sentencing.
Exactly. During the sentencing, the police officers walked towards 2 of the co-accused, and then the presiding judge said, "Now, Nicolas Sarkozy, please come forward." So everyone was thinking, will he be arrested in front of us now in court? So a lot of tension. She said he will be arrested, but not immediately because he wasn't a flight risk. But yes, it was pretty shocking. You can feel the shock in the courtroom throughout, and there was a lot of international press. We can see some of the coverage from international media, with many pointing out to a historic moment. Of course, for France, this is the first time that a French president, former French president, will be arrested, with The Guardian and others talking about a spectacular downfall, a turning point also in France's long-running struggle to deal with graft and criminal allegations against politicians. A first time, and many noting that Nicolas Sarkozy, during his time in office, pleaded tirelessly for tougher sanctions against all criminals, and some of his opponents today and yesterday were mocking him, actually saying, "Oh, well, you wanted criminals in jail? Well, you're going there." So and many people saying that was a bit harsh because, he was cleared of several of the harshest charges.
Yeah, cleared of the 3 of the harshest charges. But as you mentioned, he was convicted of that last and the least significant charge, criminal association.
Yes, absolutely. But that was enough. And actually, the judges have always said that, even because why was he cleared of the other charges? Because they proved that money indeed was transferred from the Libyans. The idea that he was accused of having this pact with Muammar Gaddafi's regime, that he would get money to finance his campaign. Meanwhile, once in office, he would invite him, clear his name, have various business deals with Libya. And the judges said from the beginning, indeed, there's no proof that Nicolas Sarkozy got the money. We believe you didn't get that money. There's no proof his party got the money. They said he didn't get the money. In fact, his campaign manager was cleared entirely. He was acquitted. But the judges said, well, you're not innocent because you didn't get the money, because we believe you did take part of the planning of this pact.
That they were trying to get the money.
Exactly, because 2 of your closest advisors, your ministers, they went to Libya. They met with a convicted terrorist. They admitted to it in 2 secret meetings. Then various lawyers, including Nicolas Sarkozy's lawyer and also Jacques Chirac, the previous president's lawyer, met with that same terrorist, explaining he was a wanted man in Europe. He wanted to return to Europe, that terrorist, and they explained his legal situation. For the judges, this proved there was some kind of pact. Also, the fact that money had been transferred from Libya to middlemen who were in contact with Nicolas Sarkozy's advisors. Even though he never got the money, they said the plan was there. The evidence proves it. And even though you did not meet with Muammar Gaddafi personally, you did not meet with a convicted terrorist, you did not meet much with the middleman, still, you're at the heart of this.
Yeah, and Sarkozy, as he's addressing the press there on those images behind you, we heard him being emotionally choked up. And one of the reasons is because even if he files an appeal, jail time is certain.
Yes, and that is definitely a debate here now in France, because usually this was the case. People were still sent to jail even before the appeal when they were a threat to society. And now Nicolas Sarkozy, I mean, the judges themselves say he's not a threat to society, but they say that what he did was so serious that he put it put a risk the trust society has in elected officials, in the institutions. It was so serious. It's not the first time he's convicted. That's why he's going to jail. Now,
but under French law, pending appeal, the person who files that appeal is presumed innocent.
Yes, and you will get a second trial. But still, this happened back in March with Marine Le Pen, National Rally's leader, who was she was sentenced to not be able to. She was stripped of the right to run for office to become France's next president, perhaps, because of her party, misusing European funds. She asked for an appeal as well. She will get that appeals trial, but still, the decision, the sentencing is applied immediately. She cannot run for office. And she actually was the first to speak out yesterday saying this is a scandal. Nicolas Sarkozy is exactly like me. This is a generalized problem now with the courts. So yes, this is becoming a greater issue. And the far right is playing on this. But this is a true debate for many here in France.
About these immediately enforceable rulings. Shirley, thank you very much. Shirli Sitbon from our news desk.